I'm gonna begin by asking. Of course, when you take on a character like Matthew Scudder, do you feel a kind of added sense of pressure playing a quite a renowned literary figure that a lot of people have quite preconceptions about or pre-established kind of thoughts of how he might be?
I must say I didn't with this one, mainly because of my own ignorance. I'm an avid reader. I love crime thrillers, and I had never, to my shame, read Lawrence Block's books, and he has written 15, 16 books on Matt Scudder. I have since read 6 or 7 of them over the past year, but terrific. But it was ignorance. I had no preconceived ideas about it, other than the character being really appealing and seemed to fit into that mold of character that I loved watching as a teenager growing up. Robert Mitchum, and Steve McQueen, Charles, what was his name? I've tried. I haven't tried on Clint Eastwood, the Dirty Harry mode, but Charles Bronson, I was thinking of. A type of iconic cinema hero,
Because you have become a real kind of one of the most dependable kind of action heroes in the world cinema at the moment. Was that always the path you envisaged you might take?
No, not in a million years. No. With the success of this little Tekken franchise, Hollywood started seeing me in a different light, and they started sending me. It's been going on for 5 years now. Quite a few action movies, And if the main character is written as a 35-year-old, the rewrite comes back. He's 52. It's like, okay.
That's funny as well, because obviously Matthew Scudder is a character that Jeff Bridges has also portrayed in 8 Million Ways.
I believe Jeff did too, yes.
I was wondering if you'd seen that, and do you think that would have helped with your character, or do you think it's better not to have seen it?
Probably better not to. And I love Jeff Bridges. I never saw that film. I only heard halfway through shooting that Jeff had actually shot a film playing that character. I'd like to see it now, actually. Yeah, but would it have put me off? It probably would have, actually. So I'm glad I didn't see it.
You do seem to be drawn at kind of present to these quite sort of damaged, quite stoic, quite characters.
Sure.
And I was just wondering what it is about this role that you enjoy playing, and does it give you a bit more freedom when they are quite elusive to kind of create more of a backstory and be a bit more open with?
Well, with Scudder, there's an enormous backstory we have from Laurie Block's novels, and there's something about them I can get my teeth into. For example, Scudder's he's a functioning alcoholic. He's sober, 8 years. I attended quite a number of AA meetings in LA and New York. That was absolutely fascinating to do that sort of research, and see these little pockets of alcoholics meetings and these very, very heroic, tragic cases, someone standing up and basically asking for help, telling their story, and everybody in the room responding to that because they've kind of been there themselves. It's sort of beautiful, really, really touching. And Scudder is one of those people, His AA meetings are incredibly important to him. Helps him get through the day, but yet he's a functioning policeman too. It's in his DNA to want to solve these horrible crimes.
I was wondering, in regards to future projects, you're working with Scorsese on Silence.
Yes.
You've worked with so many people now. Scorsese obviously will be an incredible experience, but I was wondering who's left now that you'd most like to work with that you've never collaborated with?
There's a lot of good directors. I tend to think of the old guys who are no longer with us. John Ford, Howard Hawks, those guys. I would love to have been around in the 30s, 40s in Hollywood, to be one of those contract players. I would have loved that. Now, there's a lot of new talent out there. They're phenomenal. I can't think of any that come to mind, but there's so many vibrant young filmmakers coming up, male and female. Catherine Bigelow, I work with, who's a wonderful director.
And I just find I can't sit down with a former Jedi and not ask if he's been asked to be in the new Star Wars.
I haven't.
Is it something you'd entertain the idea, if so?
If I most certainly would, absolutely. I certainly don't want anybody else playing it. Qui-Gon's in. I don't know what the current story is now at all. I think it's Harrison Ford and Carrie Fisher. It's that, their character's generation. I came way, way before that. My character was way, way before that.
Yeah, we can find a way.
Oh, I'm sure they could. I hope. I'd love to get gold, yeah.
Well, thank you so much for your time today.
Thanks, man.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.